Hi guys, this is our first kill of Professor Putricide, the last boss in the Plague Work Wing of Ice Crown Citadel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the fight, explain the tactic we used, the mechanics of the fight, and key elements that you need to be aware of before we come and do this on 25 man. Now, if you look at the room just as it is just now, you can see Professor Putricide over at his table. On the left hand side there's a orange globe, on the right hand side there's a green globe. This is crucial because this is where the orange and green oozes are actually going to spawn from, a crucial element to this fight. Now, if we start the fight, you can see the two tanks running up to it. The main tank is going to pull the boss, the off tank is going to run over to the laboratory table. DPS starts straight on the boss, 9.76 million health on 10 man, so a lot to burn through. Now the off tank runs to the table and takes a vial, drinks it, and becomes the abomination that you can see in front of us. Professor Putricide is going to throw these slime puddles underneath people. This is the void zones, guys, that you need to move out of as quickly as possible. What the abomination will do is run into this middle of the slime puddle and basically soak it up. Now what you'll see coming in a second is a green fountain. This is a tap that's switched on, there it is. And this is where the green ooze is going to spawn from. Now it's going to have about 3 seconds that it can be damaged before it actually starts that ability. What it does is it targets someone and charges at them, doing damage to everyone in that area. This is why you can see we're grouped up here, because you can see it shares the damage amongst people and gives people time to actually burn it down. You can see it goes down quite quickly when everyone's actually focused and switched onto it. Then basically we DPS the boss. Now this is phase 1, and what would normally happen is the one ooze would spawn, then the other ooze would spawn, then the other ooze would spawn. But at 80% it goes into phase 2. Now what happens there is you can see him throwing the thing into the middle. It stuns the whole raid. He goes over to his table and he takes another formula and he grows 2 new tentacles and gains 2 new abilities, as we'll see in a sec. Now what this entails is he's going to be throwing malleable goo at you. There you go, straight onto me. You need to basically just move out the way. It just does like a limited damage to the 6 yards round about it. He also throws down orange vials, green orange being the current themes to us. You can see it just on top of the boss in the middle. What these do is they decrease melee and spell haste, so they're quite dangerous to you actually, especially for healers. So these are things you need to be aware of and avoid. Now you can see over the left hand side the second ooze is spawning. This is an orange ooze. Now what this does is it slows down the target and basically chases you. It needs to be kited, it's not that fast. You can see it target and duck, so it's not that fast. If the fat man can move out the way, so can you. Just basically burn it down, simple as that. The abomination is going to melee it and throw a slime thing at it, which basically slows it down, which gives the kiter a wee bit of time to actually move out the way and kite it along the way. You can see me again being targeted by the malleable goo. It's basically making sure you move out the way from it and keep out of the void zones. Now straight away you can see the tap being switched on there. We're going to group up again, getting ready to switch, but this time we're not grouping up straight away, we're waiting and then collapsing, only because sometimes Professor Putricide will throw the malleable goo at us and we have to move from that area sort of thing. But same kind of pattern, guys. It's basically just kind of group up, burn it down, kill it, back on the boss. And that's basically phase 2. You can go through the different type of goos, the green ooze, then the orange ooze, then the green ooze, then the orange ooze, back and forth, back and forth. It's a pretty stable phase of the fight, guys. There's not much to actually learn from it. Just be aware of the orange vials on the floor and the green ooze, the green malleable goo that the boss actually throws at you. Now phase 2 lasts from 80% all the way down to 35%. There's Duck just getting killed by a Malibu Goo, nice one. Um, phase 3 is going to start at 35%, okay? As you can see, the boss is on 35.9, so the fight continues the same way all the way down from 80 all the way down to 35. Clouds move out the way, clouds move out the way. Now when he gets to 35%, he's going to do the same thing as he did at 80%. He'll throw the vial into the middle of the room, there it goes, and it stuns the raid. And this basically starts phase 3. Now, what's going to happen is the dots are still ticking on the boss, which does help a lot. Arya, the off-tank in the Abomination, she's going to be thrown out of the Abomination because this part is a 2-tank fight, okay? So you can see straight away Putricide has already changed. We pop Heroism straight away because this is a huge DPS race. There goes Heroism. Now, the ability's still the same. Look, Milo will go on you, move away. So you still need to move out the way of the goo that he throws, and you still have to watch out for the orange vials on the floor. The only difference now is the fact that we can't soak up the green puddle, so he has to be kited in a circle all the way round about the room. You can see on the tanks are getting mutated plague. Now this does damage to the raid, not necessarily the tanks, okay? So this does huge damage to the raid, so they can't let the stacks get too high. They basically taunt off each other at 3 stacks. And that's pretty much it. Taunt off each other at 3 stacks. DPS in a circle, just watch out the way for these puddles. You can see the puddles are expanding. Now this became really difficult. This was our first time we got the boss below 10%, and it was our first kill as well, so obviously a little bit rustic at it, because look, there's Marshy and Gomez going to have to run through those yellow vials. There's nothing they could have done to avoid that really at that point. The point is that these puddles are expanding, and you need to really negotiate your position. Try and get ahead of where the puddles are going to be, and try and get ahead so you can find a good spot so you can start a DPS from it. And we basically just move around the circle trying to find a bit that's not got any slime on it, which is pretty hard. And burn him down. There he is, 200k. With Gomez in an ice block just as they get hit by a goo. Nice one, little gnome. And that's pretty much the kill. Pretty straightforward. Phase 1, nice and simple. As long as the ooze is burnt down quick enough, as long as everyone remembers to group up, easy. Burn them down to 80% in no time. Phase 2 is the one that's going to give us trouble, making sure people move out the way of malleable goo, avoid the orange vials on the floor, and still grouping up to burn down the green ooze, and still burning down the orange ooze as well as it's been kited. And then we'll be on to phase 3, and then it'll be a 25-man kill as well. Grats to the guys in the 10-man team. A lot of effort in on the forums and in the game as well to get this kill, so grats guys. And that's pretty much it, our first video, yay. So any comments guys, please post them on the forum or give us a whisper in game. Cheers.